Hello, hello. It is hump day. Hi, guys. I'm back with more Kenzie and oh boy, we have an update. It's wild. Hello, welcome back. Good to see you guys. I'm going to say hi to everyone in the chat and we're going to get started. We are doing Kenzie text reading, continuing Kenzie text reading for, I think we left off on March 22nd, but we're going to go into April. So I'm going to try not to make it too long. I'm trying to space out all the lives. We have numerous lives today. So definitely make sure you have your notifications on. I know YouTube's not the best about notifying. So I am going to let you guys know about a little update in a second, but please hit the like button. It does help your girl out to hype the video as well. We are covering a plethora of cases here all the time. So like I said, definitely turn on your notifications. I am revamping the members only system or program. There's strictly going to be members only content and we're going to drop members, the Discord link for members, and we'll go from there. So it's a lot going on, but I will let you know when we come to that. So if you see your membership is canceled, you might just have to, I'm removing the expensive level and just keeping the first two. So you just would have to resubscribe at a cheaper level, which I think is fine. So I will let you guys know as that goes on. We have an update with Kenzie today. We are also covering Epstein files. That will be after this live. So hopefully you guys are interested in that. Please make sure you are there. If you are, let's get started. So Kenzie update. Let me say hi to everyone really quick. Definitely check out the short I dropped, Epstein short, and then I did drop an Epstein video as well. And I'm going to be working on dropping lots more videos as well. So lots of lives, lots of videos. Thank you for being here because you can be anywhere on YouTube. So shout out to you guys. I saw Evie in here. I saw Robert. I saw Sierra. Hello, hello. Debbie, Rebecca, Leona, Shay, Vanjie. Hi, guys. Thanks for being here. Glenda. Thank you, Vanjie. Hello, Irony. Hello, Cree. Kayla Gwynn. Hello, hello. Hi, Pumpkin. Hi, Amy. And hello to the wonderful Debbie. Hello, Valerie and Tracy. Did I say Evie? Okay. Hi, Evie. And I saw Nikki. Hello, hello. Just send message on her. Yeah. So scoop now, no breaks. Please hit the like button. What's the update? So, okay. Do you remember how hi Rassi in almost every live, right? Even the last live that I did. Remember how I always say okay, compared the Kenzie case with the Jamie Komorowski case. And if you're not familiar with that case, check out the playlist. Jamie killed a bride on her wedding night, drinking and driving, and Kenzie unalived two people. So we always talk about the similarities and differences in between those two cases. And I always tell you guys well, I've reached out to Mackenzie Shirilla and I know she's seen my messages. So she hasn't responded, but I always say why doesn't the Shirilla family say something, speak up, say something about her innocence if they claim that, she is innocent and all of these phone calls, et cetera, et cetera. Well, it's interesting because I have been saying that and saying that and saying that. In the last live, I strictly said, if you so wholeheartedly believe that she is innocent and you're going to do whatever to help her because she's your daughter, then why aren't you saying anything? Staying quiet doesn't do anyone good either. And I saw a post, which was crazy because Natalie Shirilla has posted a statement on behalf of Kenzie on her Instagram post, on her Instagram page. And I'm finally, you say something. And she's delusional, both of them. So what's new? But anyways, let's review that. I will be really early live. I will be early live tomorrow because we have a court in the morning as well. So stay tuned for that thumbnail live scheduled tonight. So yes, Natalie Shirilla is controlling Kenzie's Instagram and they made a statement. And Kenzie in her picture, she doesn't look terrible. She doesn't look terrible. She kind of looks older, which I think, makes sense. It's been a few years. Essentially, she'll have to grow up. But we've been seeing the content and the stuff related closer to the crash, right? And so she was really young, 17, going on 18, barely 18. 17 when the crash happened, but 18 thereafter. So in this picture, she kind of looks a little bit older, and I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. She's full blown, has her hair curled, lip liner, like all of the things. And I'm just like, well, I'm glad she's comfortable, because she's going to be in there for quite a little more time. So let me share this with you guys. I've been dying to. I'm going to make a short about it today as well. Excuse me. Are you guys shook? Shook. Kenzie the crazy one, right? Well, we could say that for a lot of people in these cases, but yes, Kenzie the crazy one. And look who's in the comments. Rosie Graham posted little emojis. So there's our answer to that, right? When we listen in the the phone calls where the prison calls were like, oh. So Rosie clearly still supports or feels some type of way. But let's read this post. Isn't that crazy? Her hair is full blown curled. Eyebrows are way different, defined, and not anything like they used to be. She's wearing mascara. She has lip liner on, and she has this like blue turtleneck. She is in the prison. It's just absolutely insane to me. Yeah, I know. We've done a lot of Kenzie coverage here, and it's interesting that they're now speaking out. Because I've been up here talking my shit, but I'll back it up. It's true. They do need to speak out, and she needs to take accountability for what she did. It says, from Mackenzie, thank you to those who see through the lies and those who take time out of their day to form their own opinion as to the truth of what really happened. I'm not perfect. I never will be, but I'm not guilty of murder. Like any young couple, Dom and I had our disagreements and arguments. However, I always loved Dom and would never do anything to hurt him, Davion, or anyone else I care about. I will respectfully and peacefully continue to fight for my innocence through the proper legal channels. To all of those who speak out on my behalf to raise awareness of this wrongful conviction, words cannot describe my sincere appreciation for your support and for being my voice. Continue to scream, quote unquote, free Mackenzie Shirilla at the top of your lungs. If it can happen to her, it can happen to us. Mackenzie support team. Hashtag free Mackenzie Shirilla. Hashtag I'm innocent. Hashtag wrongful conviction. Hashtag Mackenzie Shirilla. Yeah. Very few times in my life do I have nothing to say. Like, it's rare. Absolutely. What the hell is this? I am not guilty of murder. Dom and I had our disagreements and arguments. I wouldn't call them anything but disagreements and arguments. They were raging fights, harassing arguments, toxic disagreements, abusive mentally and emotionally. But okay, well, at least she looks healthier. She does. She doesn't, yeah, she does. She gained weight, but she looked which is good, I think. It looks good on her. She did gain weight, but she doesn't look older and wiser, just older. Until she admits a guilt, she will never get out. Oh, I beg to differ. You murdered too. Wow, looking amazing. Oh, Bruce seems to think Kenzie's looking amazing. Is that so, Bruce? Whatever happened to hashtag if they ain't hating, you're doing something wrong. She's abusive AF. Sorry, Lester. Yeah, y'all gonna hate me for this, but she's getting prettier the older she gets. Yeah, I think. Oh, Bruce, you're kind. He says me. Thank you, Bruce. I thought you were talking about the girl on the screen. You're all gonna. Yeah, I think she. Old days. Hi. I think she looks better than she did before. I really do. It's really crazy to me to see her in this picture. It's just wild. Yeah. I'm just like, wow, what a statement. Like, continue to scream free Mackenzie at the top of your lungs, she says. And it's interesting because it's on her Instagram page. She says, from Mackenzie, okay, says all of this. And then at the end, it says Mackenzie support team, I guess, because they're the ones posting it. Who's her support team? Natalie and Steve? And apparently Rosie, because Rosie's in there with the praying hands. So Rosie and Kenzie, I guess that answers the question of, are they still friends? Could be. Could be. Mm-hmm. Someone says, I trust you. Danny says that's her while in jail prison. Wow, still serving. You look stunning. I believe in you. You will soon be free. I just don't understand the whole situation. Such a terrible tragedy. I hope you're doing okay. Always praying the truth comes out. Also, serving face. You look so matured. Wow, I'm so happy this account has been reactivated. So a lot of Kenzie supporters, I think they're deleting all the hate comments because I don't buy that there's not one single one. So there's that. Um anyways, as for that, I will be making a short video about that. Please make sure you check it out. Let's continue with the text messages where we left off. Is this a photo from, yes, it's a photo from prison, the prison tablet. So let's get started. We left off on March 20 BS. Are they allowed to pose? It's so dumb. Holy, yeah, I know. Still got the evil narcissist. You know what? I saw the picture and I was like, okay, like maybe she's changed. And then I read the statement and I was like, okay, maybe not. She truly believes she's innocent. Let me know down in the comments what you think and in the chat. Let's get started. Like I said, let me get a drink. Shout out to you guys for being here. Please hit the like button. I know. She gets to wear makeup, curl her hair, eat what she wants, talk on the phone as much as she wants. You might as well just put her on house arrest. Like, I mean, I know that, there's a lot of other horrible things about prison, but she seems like she's doing fine. So we left off here on March 22nd. Dom says, get off your phone, to like, I got a headache now. Remember, they spent that whole night fighting and breaking up, and both of them were losing their shit. She got drunk, the Patron. Please check out the playlist. We do have a playlist of, oh, by the way, I separated the playlist. So there's Mackenzie Shirilla case, which is like body cam, documents, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. And then we have a Mackenzie Shirilla jail calls, which is all the jail calls without my commentary, just the videos that I put out. And then you have the lives under the live tab, which are these. And then I made a separate playlist for Mackenzie Shirilla text messages in order. So from this second time around reading them, because we did read them once, those are already in the playlist. I do see a lot of you replaying a lot of those videos. So shout out to you guys. So she says, when are you coming back on the 22nd at 11:19 a.m.? She says, I feel like I don't even know you anymore. You blow my mind. It's sad because I'd never do this shit to you. She says, there's hella cops parked outside. Dom says, why? At 11:24 a.m. There's cops. Kenzie says, why the F would I know? Like 4. Look at Insta. Dom says, are they at our house? Kenzie says, they're taking Toph and a girl. Dom says, what girl? Where's Toph? Hide my shit. Kenzie says, outside. Okay. Dom says, actually too much shit to hide anyway. Kenzie says, how? How do I hide? I'm panicking. Dom says, nothing is going to happen. They're all outside. It's okay. Dom says, is my mom there? Kenzie says, yeah, she's coming outside. Who is Savannah? It's about her. Dom says, WTF. Kenzie said, who is that? Dom says Nikki's weird ass friend. I was trying to think of who Nikki is. I can't remember. If you do, let me know in the chat. Kenzie says there was like 5 cops. Really? WTF? Dom says, where's Savannah going? Kenzie said, she was in Angelo's room. I don't know. How about you come back? Dom says, that's our word AF. I hate that word. Kenzie says, I don't know what the F is going on. I want to pee and I went to pee and seen hella cops. Are you coming back? Dom says, I don't know. Kenzie says, N-word, WTF. You're honestly so fake. Whatever, Dom. Oh, on D&D all night being such a dick when I'm sick and begging for you to come back. Effing Angelo helped me last night. It should have been you. I puked like 15 times. Dom says, I can't be there to comfort you when we're trying to separate. Kenzie says, F you, Dom. You are so fake. I can't believe I thought you would change and be there for me forever. But you never are. So whatever. You treat Carl better than you treat me. Might as well F him. Remember this emoji. She says, I know you know it. Dom says, okay, I'm not texting you anymore. Kenzie says, okay, come back right now. If you don't come back, it's a PUSSY move. And you've been making PUSSY moves all night. LMAO. You on D&D still? Like, you're such a dick. Thanks for making it up to me. Dom, I'll just get a ride to Carl's. Dom says, you're trying to make me feel guilty. I'm not effing with it. That's not cool at all. That's why we're separating for a little. Kenzie says, I'm not effing doing this with you. I'm not effing doing this with you. I think that's what she's trying to say. And N-word, you should feel terrible making your girl cry and puke like WTF. She says, come back. Dom says, see, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I'll just talk to you later. Kenzie says, no, come back. I'm so mad at you. I should just smoke all your weed. Dom says, no, I'm not. She says, LOL, I might have to. I'll roll a wood. Dom says, I mean, you can try, but you won't smoke very much. Kenzie says, I'm a roll one right now. I'm gonna keep rolling till I do it too. I'm mad at you, she says. So mad at you, I swear to God. Dom says, LOL, if you F anything up, I just won't let you come over anymore. Stop trying to make me mad. Kenzie says, emoji. Dom says, and stop trying to make me feel guilty. Kenzie says something that's redacted, and Dom says, blocked. Kenzie says, I love that emoji. Oh, it was an emoji. She says, no. Dom sends an emoji back. He says, blocked. She says, no. I'm coming to Carl's then. He says, yeah, good shit. Just go ahead and try to piss me off. Kenzie says, if you block me, I'll be on my way fast. AF. Dom says, I'm about to dip Carl's right now. Kenzie says, okay, I'll be here waiting. Dom says, I'm not going there. Kenzie says, why? WTF? You're mean as F. I hate you. I effing hate you. And then she says, so my age, I think that's a typo. Dom says, sorry, I don't know if I'm going to come. She says, come? He says, I don't know, just smoke the wood and go home. She says, come smoke, then I'll leave. Make it not green. Come smoke with me. I'm not going on a break if I don't see you today. Dom says, we're not going on a break. We're breaking up indefinitely. She says, what? Come back. We are not breaking up. We are not breaking up. He says, yeah, that's what I've been saying. Break up for a little. She says, you said indefinitely. Dom says, yeah, indefinitely, not definitely. Kenzie says, I don't want to break up forever. Dom says, indefinitely means not permanent. That's why I sent you that photo. Kenzie says, okay, please come smoke with me one last time. I thought indefinitely means forever. Dom says, are you already smoking it? She says, sparking it right now. Angelo's with me. He says, I'm salty, all right? She says, why? Dom says, because I haven't been able to come home to eat or brush my teeth or do anything I need to do. And now you're smoking my weed in my woods. And I didn't even get to hit your first wood. Kenzie said, I said you can come. I told you to come. Dom says, I can't come with you being there crazy. She says, I'm not crazy. I'm leaving soon too. I'll leave after the wood. Come smoke. Angelo hit it too. Dom says, N-word, what, he's smoking again? She says, come back. He says, whatever. I was on the way back. I don't think I'm gonna go there anymore. She says, come back. Why are you doing this? I let the wood go out. It's here. I want you to hit it. I saved it for you. Dom says, I don't know. She says, come hit the effing wood, babe. I have $40 for you too. Like, come back. I'm going to Megan's soon. It's here waiting for you. Come back right now. I want to leave. He says, my mom pissed me off. I don't know if I'm going to come. Kenzie says, just come in here and don't talk to her. The wood's smack. There's still a lot left. Dom says, I already did. I just left again. Kenzie says, I knew I heard something. Dom says, nah, you already started smoking without me. She says, Dom, and sends him a picture of the wood and the money. She says, see, come hit it, LMAO. It is good AF. I want you to hit it. Just come back and go straight to your clean ass room. I'm looking out the window at your spot. Dom says, nah, bruh, just take your wood and go to Megan's. She says, no, come hit it. I got $40 worth of bud too, so just come back so I can leave. Dom says, you can just have a handful for free. Kenzie says, you're being really bipolar. Like, you tell me to smoke it alone, then get mad when I smoke it, then I put it out, and then you say no. I want you to give me the good stuff, and I need dabs. I'm completely out. Dom says, maybe because I didn't get to eat dinner or breakfast, and maybe because you're smoking my bud. Kenzie says, you said I could. You told me to smoke like 30 times. Come back and hit the wood, Dom. It's not a big deal. Give me dabs and bud so I can leave. Can you make it blue, please? Do you think you would sell me 1 pack of backwoods? Dom, I'm for real getting mad. Like, stop being a dick. I'm literally telling you that I'm leaving. I just need weed and dabs. Dom says, can you go home now? Kenzie says, I guess if you really want me to, can you make text blue and unblock on everything? Dom, what does she not get? Like, he wants you to leave. And she's so manipulative. Like, oh, I have money for you. Oh, weed. Oh, this or that. Like, he doesn't want you there. I don't get it. I don't get it. Let me, hold on. Let me fix the screen so I'm not blocking the text messages. My bad. I didn't know I was. Hi, abuelitas and hi, Lala. 2% pizza. You better charge that up. It's crazy how blocking worked on her, element. No, it doesn't work on her. And why he's like, I want to break up. And she's like, oh, just come back. And like, oh, I want to hang out. Like, she don't care. She has zero self-awareness. She would not leave. She's way off. Ugh. I just don't understand. He says, look, just go into the bathroom and then you can stay. I'm going to leave for a little. Just let me grab some shit. Like, she's at his house. He can't even go there. She says, that's fine. LOL. I'm in. How long are you going to be gone? He says, I don't know. She says, are you doing runs? And can I come out now? He says, yeah, stay in there for a little while I get ready real quick. She says, LMAO, okay. She says, bathroom floor sticky as shit. Are you done? He says, give me 1 sec. She says, LMAO, people trying to pee. He says, you can get out. She says, see you in a little. He says, I'm going to come tag the wood right now. She says, let me hit it too. When are you coming back? And that was at 6:20. It's now 6:20 p.m. He says, 5 guys fries and little burger. She says, LOL, sure. Sounds good. Only get cheese lettuce, please, babe. Hit me up when they dip. She says, also unblock on Insta. Yo, text me back. Try to have movie night tonight. LOL. She says at 8:46. She says, what you doing now? 9:31. She says, did you get it out? Dom says, I have to get my runs done now. She says, when you're on your last one, can you come scoop? Then we can have movie night. LOL. He says, maybe. She says, hit me up soon. She says, but you got your car out. How long did it take? He says, a while. She says, that's effed. If you get lonely, come scoop, she says, and I'll do runs with you. He says, okay. So they made up. Which we'll see a lot more of that. She says, what up now at 10:31 p.m.? He says, I don't know if I'm trying to chill tonight. She says, you sure? Are you home? I'm trying to talk to you. It's cool if we don't chill tonight. What if we have official movie night tomorrow? Dom says, no, we're supposed to be on a break or break up, remember? She says, remember quarantine? I thought you were going to still hang out with me on quarantine. Remember when you said we would be quarantine buddies? Dom says, no, I didn't. I gave you books to read. I did for a second. Kenzie says, I left it at your house on accident. Dom says, but then I just give you books. We can chill tomorrow, maybe. Kenzie says, I'm still more than halfway on the other one. But no, for a while you told me that me and you would be quarantine buddies. You said if we get quarantined, you would hang out with me every day. He says, no, I didn't. She says, yes, you did. We were on FaceTime. I posted a YOLO and people just said creepy shit, so I deleted it. Before you sleep, want to FaceTime for like 10 minutes? That's at 11:28. She says, I might just go to bed. My stomach hurts. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. We gonna get through this quarantine shit together, babe. He says, okay, good night, babe. She says, I'm still up. If you want to FaceTime, we can. She sends an emoji. She says, I hate Snap today. I'm for real going to freak out. She says, call me ASAP. Wait, let's go back to the times. That was at 11. She says, I hate Snap today. I'm for real going to freak out. That's at 11:57 a.m. Then she says at 1:08 p.m., call me ASAP. This is actually important. Dom, answer. He says, okay, what's up? He says, I just got out of the shower. She says, I effed up. Call me. Dom says, no, just text me. She says, I see you still can't be there. If I wanted to text you, I would have already effing done it. Dom says, text. She says, an audio message. And then another one. He says, oh, LOL. She sends another audio message. She says, LOL, so funny. I'm so dead. He says, I'll let you borrow another one. She says, it's not even my bong. Dom says, that one was cheap anyway. Kenzie says, where do I even get that? Dom said, it's okay. It's Angelo's. She said, yes, it's effing Angelo's. I'm looking everywhere. Dom says, he won't give a single F, promise you. Kenzie said, he will. I don't want to make him mad. Dom says, no, I'm positive. Kenzie says, I'm flipping out. Dom says, okay, well, I just told you that you don't have to flip out. It's like $15 Amazon bong. I'll get another. So she broke his bong. Kenzie says, I feel bad. I didn't mean to. She sends a picture of it from Amazon. Says, now I only have a shit pink one that I am not hitting. Dom says, I said I'll let you borrow one. I don't even use the bong. Kenzie says, when? I'm trying to order that bong now, but it's not letting me. I was about to effing hit it too. I'm so upset. I'm going to the glass house. This dumb ass at the glass house is pissing me off, she says. So let's see what time that one. So it was at 1:24. So she goes at 1:29. I'm with my mom and she asked for my ID, like WTF. Then she didn't let me in the effing back. Dom says, because you're not old enough. Kenzie says, I go effing back there all the time. Every time. Now I don't have an effing bong. Dom says, I said I'll give you one. She says, then can I come over now? Effing our ass glass house employee. I'm so salty right now. He says, no, you can't. She says, how am I going to get an effing bong then? I have nothing I can smoke out of. Dom says, I'll just give you one later. Just smoke out of something else. I made homemade bongs till I was 16. Kenzie says, I don't know how to make a homemade bong, and I don't effing want to. I'm for real so mad. Dom says, okay, well, I'll talk to you later when you're calm. She says, unblock me on Insta and Snap. And how the F can I smoke when I have nothing? Dom says, stop being mean. Kenzie says, how am I being mean? I have nothing to smoke out of, and no one is helping me. She says, Dom, OMG. Dom, I can't effing smoke. I have nothing to make a bong, and you're not even helping me. Dom says, I don't have to help you. Stop freaking out. Kenzie says, I can't even find anything to make a good bong. What do you mean you don't have to help? You should help, WTF. You tell me you're going to give me a bong, then you say I can't come over right now, then you don't help me find an effing way to smoke. Dom says, I didn't say when I'd give you one, but I will. Kenzie says, what do I need to do to make a good bong? Like, what do I even use? Dom says, take a big bottle and cut the top off with scissors. Kenzie says, everyone in the house is effing annoying ass. Where do I even get a big bottle? Dom says, then take a little bottle and cut the bottom. She says, okay. Dom says, look, don't even make a good bong. Kenzie says, why? Dom says, you have any Bic pens? Kenzie says, I'm not using an apple. And probably. Dom says, it's going to make a bong. Kenzie says, the pen? How? Dom says, sends a link to it, something from Google. He said, find this pen. Oh, it's a pen. And then get a Gatorade bottle. Kenzie says, what do I do with that? Dom, I need to know what to do with the pen and the Gatorade. OMG. Dom says, LOL, my bad. He says, did you find it? She says, my mom is getting them from the store and I have Gatorade bottles. What size? Dom says, doesn't matter, just not the big, small one or the regular. Kenzie says, okay, I have those. Dom says, and then find a sock that's like 3/4. She says, a socket. She says, what the F is a socket? I'll ask my dad, LOL. Dom says, have your dad help you with that. He def has a socket wrench and you can find one that fits. Kenzie says, LMAO. Dom says, LOL. Kenzie then says at 2:15, my dad just gave me a bong. Yeah, I'm sure he did. Yeah, what a useless brat. Like it's his freaking problem that she broke the bong and doesn't have anything to smoke out of. Like just because she always smokes with him doesn't mean like figure it out yourself. Dom can't stand to be around her here. He absolutely cannot. He's way different here. She's addicted to filming herself smoking on any social media. I know. Make a bong. Yeah, Steve gave her one. She says, my dad just gave me a bong. Dom says, sends an emoji. She says, that I never knew he had. Want to see it? She says, oh my God, the bong he has effing sucks. Dom sends an emoji. She says, I effing hate my life. Dom says, let me see it. Just find the socket then. Kenzie says, he gave me a whole ass wrench. He's not letting me use the effing socket. Dom says, tell him you need the socket with the hole in it. Kenzie said, he's not giving me it. I hate my life. I'm going to the glass house and just getting a bong. F my dad. He took the bong away from me and he's not giving me a socket. Dom says, we'll just get a simple one and get a good nectar collector. She says, what kind? Nectar collector? ? I'll look it up. Dom says, yeah, get one that bubbles. She says, okay, I'll ask. I'll text you when I'm in the store. And then she says, my dad is a psycho. Bye, babe. They lied. I'm going away forever. She says, love you so much. Dom says, yeah, what? What? Where are you going? What do you mean you're going away forever? You can't be serious. Emoji. Kenzie says, are you? That's weird. So that's where it ends on the 23rd. Let me go back. She says, my parents said I'm going away forever. So I wonder if they were like trying to ship her off to boot camp or something. Why would she say that? And I mean, she does complain about not liking her parents and hating to live at home. So I'm curious. Did Mackenzie smoke with her parents? I think she did. I do. I think she did. He's a bad father, says Ruth. Why can't she look it up? Does she not have papers? I don't know. I'm curious about that. But anyways, it ends on the 23rd and then it jumps to the 25th. So there's 2 days of text missing. And I'm curious as to why. I don't know if I noticed that on the first time around. She says on the 25th at 9:20 p.m., are you eating? Or maybe there was nothing relevant those days. I don't know. I find that hard to believe because they fight every day. She says, are you eating without me? He says, no. She says, then where are you at? He says, in the kitchen. She says, come in your room. I mean, you could have told me so I wasn't just sitting there waiting for you to come back home. She says, LOL. And that was on the, wait, let me go back. So on the 25th, she says, come in your room at 8:10 p.m. And then it jumps to 8:22 a.m. She says, I mean, you could have just told me so I wasn't just sitting here waiting for you to come back home. She says, LOL, I need to pee. Will you be done soon? He says, yeah, sorry, let me finish up. She says, LOL, it's okay. She says, I'm so hungry. I'm tempted to just walk somewhere. Dom says, this is lunchtime now. Dom says, I mean, you could if you really want to, or I'll go pick it up. Kenzie says, I just don't know what to get. I'm just laying down because my stomach hurts. Dom says, Kenzie, you can't just not eat if you're not in the mood for anything. That's bad for you. Dr. Sebi said you can eat food You can't eat food for taste, but for health, which is kind of bullshit, but it is for real sometimes. Kenzie says, I know. I want to eat. I'm hungry AF. LOL. I just have no clue what to eat. Dom says, just go eat a kiwi to get your stomach going or blueberries. She says, I've been trying to think this whole time. Even if Dom, she said, that's what she said. Dom says, even if you don't want that, maybe just try a bite. I don't know. Kenzie says, no, I don't know, Dom. Do you have any ideas for food? Dom says, any fruit and we have in there or like breakfast food, like pancakes or cereal. Kenzie says, Dom, none of that is filling. Like, I need to be full. I don't want to be hungry again in 10 minutes. This is gay AF. I'm just going to look up ideas. Dom says, it's because they're all water based food. Let me know if you get an idea and I'll come make it. Kenzie says, what if we get KFC mashed potatoes? If you don't like food there, I'll find something else. Dom says, I could just get popcorn chicken. You sure you want that for breakfast though? It's 1:04 p.m. Kenzie says, I'll find something else. Dom says, I'll get it. She says, I'm looking for something else. She says, we can get sushi. Dom. He says, from where? I'll get it. She says, just come back first. I don't know. She emphasizes her own message. She says, come back? He says, okay, I'll come back in a sec. She said, where are you at right now? He says, Carl's about to dip. She says, okay, just come back fast. I'm bored. Are you going to come? She says at 2:45 p.m. Dom, come. Dom, come into your room. Dom says, okay, I'll come in a sec, babe. My mom is making baked potatoes too. Will you have one of those? Kenzie says, just regular ones, like normal potatoes. Dom says, yeah, like the potato baked in the oven. She says, no seasoning. If so, yes. LOL. I liked baked potatoes. Dom says, no, only salt and stuff. He says, okay, bet. First of all, she's always like, get this, get that, get sushi, get Luca's, get Chick-fil-A. She doesn't even pay for any of it, first of all. Second of all, she likes a potato with nothing on it. No judgment, but she got her wish. Yeah, I know. Hey, Green-Eyed, what a spoiled brat. Did Mackenzie, oh, I already answered that. Did she's, what pancake you can get full? I know. Hey, Lakeside, good to see you. She says, can you come now? Question mark, question mark, question mark. She emphasizes it. Dom, he says, I'll come in a sec. I don't understand why they're like, they're in his house, but they're not in the same room. Like, that's how much he didn't want to be around her. Dom says, okay, I'll come in a sec. She says, I'm bored at 6:54 p.m. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Dom says, what? She says, come back. Can I come there or something? Like, you just came back. Dom says, yeah, give me a sec. I'll let you know. She sends an emoji. She says, I'm about to just get tired. Like, I literally hear you guys having a normal convo. Are you going to let me come in the room or not? She says, that was on the 26th at 7:13 p.m. And then it jumps to the 27th. She says, where are you at? Dom says, my sister is like talking to me. I can't just leave. Sister? We don't hear much about Dom's sister. I just realized that. We hear a lot about Angelo, but not his sister. Hey, yo, mama, good to see you. Did you guys just realize that too? His sister? I remember Davion's sister spoke at the victim impact. Who wants to go into a room that no one wants you in? Quite obviously, she just like hangs around there at his house. I didn't even remember he had a sister. I know. That's why I'm like, did I miss that the first time around? Yeah, Melly, it's wild. She wasn't at the victim impact. Is it a stepsister? We need to look into this. Who is it? Is this the only time we hear of her? I've been curious about his sister. I'm so glad you said that. Yeah, I'm tripping out. I'm like, wait, let me go back because he doesn't mention her a lot in these texts either. He says, my sister is talking to me. I can't just leave. She said, I was just wondering if you were there. Let me take a drink. 1 sec. I just couldn't remember that. Maybe we've heard it, like, in the documents or, like, some other coverage or something, but I just didn't remember that until right now. Kenzie says, "I was just wondering if you went there. Come back when you're done." "Babe, I need to go to the bathroom." Dom. Dom says, "What?" She says, "Wait. Okay, yeah, it's still the 27th." She says, "My packages came, 2 of them." Dom said, "That's what's up. Which ones?" She says, "I didn't even know I bought one of the shirts that came, but I'm for real sad." And then she says, "I'm so angry." Dom says, "You're sad and angry?" She says, My mom put up weird ass signs all over the house. I want to leave." Dom says, "Like what?" Kenzie says, "Like, you are strong." Shit like that. So I think Natalie was putting up, like, what do you call them? Like, oh, it's on the tip of my tongue now. Like those spiritual, like, what are they called? Why am I spacing it? Like, yes, motivational there's a word for it. Yeah, motivational. Yeah, Dom never speaks about her. It's always Angelo. I don't remember it at all. Yeah, positive affirmations. Thank you, Gala. That's actually what I was thinking, but inspirational affirmations. Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Yeah, so Natalie Shirilla was putting up these little, like, positive affirmations. Kenzie says, "Like everywhere." And then she sends a picture of herself. She says, "I'm a post." It looks like she's walking in the woods. Kenzie says, "I'm gonna post this. Do you like?" She says, "Look at Insta. What should I make the caption? You always give good ones." Dom says, "On the tracks, but ain't running no trains." Kenzie says, "What does that mean?" Kenzie says, "And what if people think I'm talking about the bad kind of running a train?" LOL. Dom says, "That's what I meant." Kenzie said, "I was about to say, LMAO, give me a good one, a real one, LMAO." Dom says, "Okay, I'll let you know soon." She says, "Okay, babe." And that was at 8:10 PM. And then she says at 8:12, "Send one." He says, "I don't know. There's a weed strain called Trainwreck. You can do something with that." Kenzie says, "Should I put blazing Trainwreck?" Dom says, "No. Train on the tracks, just a lot of Trainwreck." LOL. I don't know, for real. Kenzie says, "LMAO, that's what I'm saying. Megan wants me to do Backwood Babe or Blazing Babe." Dom says, "Blate wait like trains." Kenzie says, "Should I do that one? If nature illegal, freedom doesn't exist. Or should I just do blazing?" Dom questions her message. Why does she want to put that? If nature illegal, freedom doesn't exist. What the fuck? I'm sorry. That's my Snapchat name. What is? Oh, wait, don't tell us if you don't want to. Pizza. She should have been burning sage, putting up crosses, and putting holy water in her shampoo. I know. Thank you, Nemo sign. Hey, Bree. Spiritualist is the term itself and life coach. Melly, I remember you saying that Dom had a sister at some point through all the info you've journeyed us to. Really? Yeah, kind of remember that. Um, yeah, listen to Abuelita. She's saying you guys ain't hitting the like button. I bet Pumpkin would give anything to be home right now. Dude, she would give anything to be home right now and getting high. She says this is a stupid ass line too. If nature's illegal, freedom doesn't exist. Like for her to put that on that picture. She says, or should I just do just blazing? Dom questions it. He says, probably that one. She said, what one? First or second? He says, if nature's illegal. She says, okay, I'm gonna do it. Like and comment, babe. He says, okay. She says, babe, like and comment. My nail is so effed. She says, want to go boon together soon? Dom says, tonight? She says, yes. Dom says, we about to go to Helltown. Kenzie says, bring me. Oh my God, please. Dom says, it's all N words or I would bring you. She said, please just bring me. Dom says, I'll bring you another time. She says, I really wanted to go there. Dom says, I don't know if we're even going to get there. AJ and Carl's going. I'll bring you another time. She says, I don't care. I won't talk to them. Please, Dom. Why do you always go to cool places with them but never bring me? Just bring me too. He says, I will bring you, just not today. She says, Dom, you're not going to want to go again for a while. Just bring me too. Like, you can talk to them and I'll just talk to you. Dom, he says, can I just please go with them? I'll take you another day. She says, you go cool places all the time with them. You always do adventurous, fun shit with them. Dom says, it wasn't my idea. That N-word George and Corey trying to have us go. Kenzie says, you're still going? And there's 2 more people I'm cool with. Like, just bring me. Dom, you can easily bring me. He says, I'm not trying to. She says, you're not trying to what? Go to the place? If you don't want to go, then don't go. Like, if you go to cool places with ugly ass Carl and AJ all the time. Dom, emoji. So that's how it's going to be, she says, at 9:49 p.m. He says, I really don't. They bring me. Kenzie says, who drives the effing car? They use you for your car. Now I definitely can never be cool with AJ or Carl again. F Carl. I hate him so much. You literally could have brought me, but no. Dom says, I don't even think we're going anymore. Kenzie said, then let's boon. She says, I for real hate Carl so much. Dom says, bruh, I didn't even know we were supposed to chill again tonight. Kenzie says, we weren't. Dom says, okay, word, we can chill tomorrow probably. Kenzie says, I was trying to chill because I'm bored. You're always down to do fun shit with ugly ass Carl. Whatever, Carl and AJ probably gay together so they can S my D. She says, can I just come over early tomorrow? Dom, okay, just ignore me. You literally told me you wouldn't ignore me. Like, you promised me you wouldn't. And now it's been 50 minutes. I'm trying so hard not to flip the F out. I'm so mad right now. I'm for real mad right now, she says at 11 o'clock p.m. He says, I'm not trying to. I'm really fried right now. Kenzie said, how's the abandoned building that you probably weren't going to? And being too drunk or too high isn't an effing excuse to break a promise. She dislikes his message. Dom, you're trying to make me flip the F out. All the grimy ass kids with you can S my D. She says, OMG, I'm mad as F right now. Thanks for lying. You ignore me, you lie, then you leave me on red, she says at 11:06 p.m. Dom says, George's car is stuck in the mud. She says, good. F his car. She emphasized her message. She says, you effing promised you wouldn't ignore me. I get home and that's the first thing you do. Dom says, bruh, I don't know. She says, of course you don't know. You never know. I hope his car is effed and I hope Carl gets his ass beat. She says, how come anytime you're effing with Carl, you ignore me? And you just lied to me and broke a promise that you told me you wouldn't break. And you really think replying slow and dry makes me any less mad that you just lied and broke a promise? She says, I'm mad as F right now. Now you're on D&D? Of course, you just promised me and break it ASAP. Should have known. Dom says, George is stuck, bro. I'm trying to help. She says, get off D&D. I don't know what the F is wrong with you. It literally took you less than a day to break a promise you told me you wouldn't break. I for real actually thought you would keep it, but no. As soon as you're with, oh my gosh. I just sneeze. She says, as soon as you're with that deformed ass N-word, Carl, then you start being dry and a liar. Wow. That's really not nice, Kenzie. Calling Carl deformed. Who does she think she is? She gets her way because they just want her to shut the F up. You might be, yeah, I don't, she's so mean. She doesn't like to hear the word no. She's been getting her own way for years. That's why she ended up where she is. Facts. She says, with that deformed ass N-word Carl, then you start being dry and a liar. And that's karma for breaking a promise now. George's car gets stuck. Nice to see God on my side. Kenzie, that doesn't mean God is on your side. Like, I can't deal with her. I literally can't. She's really childish. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I'm cracking up. Pizza Hut says hashtag Carl deserves love. What the heck? That's funny. She says, get off D&D. It's now 11:24 p.m. Dom says, okay, I'll talk to you later. She says, whatever, Dom, Carl's done. Just wait. She's psycho. She says, get off D&D and stop ignoring. She says, it's not that hard. You're for real upset. You for real just upset the F out of me. I can't believe you broke a promise. I'm going to sleep. Dom says, bruh, no, I had shit to do. I can't be on my phone. Kenzie says, you didn't have to break a promise because that upset the F out of me. And now I'm upset. I was chilling, but now I can't because you just pulled some shit again. Like, you didn't even say sorry or get off D&D. Like, I don't give an F that you're with grimy kids. It's the fact that you ignore me and leave me on red like you just did. She sends an emoji. Dom says, we got it out. She says, Corey's a B word. Say sorry and get off D&D, like WTF. Like, you broke a effing promise. It's not okay to do that. Dom, be like that again. I don't know why you just put me through this when you know I'm having a rough time with life right now. She says this at midnight. Dom says, I'm sorry. And yeah, I've been helping hella. Kenzie says, it's whatever. Never break a promise again. When you're, okay, that was 5:16 a.m. It's whatever. Never break a promise again. And then she says, when you're up, can I come over? It's literally 5:16 in the morning. He says, you're so unreasonable. I'm going back to bed. That was at 8:54. He responded. And she says, I'm up at 10:29. You for real broke a promise, Dom. That's not good. Let's hang out when you're up. I want to leave. Dom says, okay, I'm mad now. Say you're sorry. Kenzie says, I'm sorry too. It just made me sad because you promised you wouldn't ignore me. And as soon as Carl's around, you ignore me. Dom says, N-word, George Carr was stuck. I was effing doing shit. If I was sleeping, I would ignore you too. Kenzie says, it was before that. Dom says, nah, I'm salty AF now. You're so unreasonable. Kenzie says, LOL, I don't care if you're sleeping and don't answer. I just said sorry. Why are you mad? He says, because I try so hard and you get mad at me for just not answering. Dom says, and girls can't come with the boys. They never have, never will. Kenzie says, it's the fact that you broke a promise that made me flip. I understand girls can't come. Thank you, Ruth. I know. Loses it. I know. She says, I understand girls can't come. Dom says, I really didn't though. She says, you did, Dom. You ignored me as soon as you were with Carl. Dom says, if an N-word car got stuck in a random ass parking lot and we're stuck AF, like I'm gonna help. Kenzie says, Dom, it was before the car got stuck. Dom says, like his whole ass car was effed, bro. Kenzie says, what even happened? Dom says, but you just want to make it about Carl. The N-word tried to back out and then got stuck in the mud. Kenzie says, how was it stuck? Dom says, now you got me salty AF. Don't text me for today. She says, OMG. You told me you would be there for me. And then you do this. You said we could probably hang today. I don't want to be in this effing house, Dom. Dom says, don't take advantage of it. She says, I'm not! Exclamation, question mark, question mark, question mark. Dom says, whenever I tell you I'll do something or be there for you, you can't, or something, you just hold it over my head. Kenzie says, you shouldn't be the mad one, but okay, it's whatever. Dom says, hold it. Kenzie says, I'm not even doing that. Why do you always think I am? Dom says, no, I'm so effing mad. I want to effing yell at the top of my lungs and break shit again. Kenzie says, how are you that mad? Dom says, like N-word, I just took care of you for a week and you're going to give me bullshit? I don't take bullshit. Sorry. You're not pushing me around. Kenzie says, I literally cried when you were taking me home. I'm not pushing you around. I don't know what's going through your head right now, dude. Like, she creates this whole thing and then like tries to flip it, gaslight. Like, what? This is, I understand why he does lose his shit sometimes. You know, we have seen that before. Wow. Hi, Monica. I just can't. Jealous bipolar psycho. Yeah. Wish he would have got her a straight jacket for Valentine's Day. I know, me too. Maybe we should send her one. He says, I don't know what's going, she says, I don't know what's going through your head right now. Dom says, I don't know what's going through your head right now. You treat your babe like effing shit. Kenzie says, I don't. Dom, you broke a promise. I got upset. Then I just stopped caring. Kenzie, he didn't make no effing promise. You made that up in your head, you psycho. Then she says, I go to bed, then wake up, and you're just mad. After you stay up till midnight fighting with him when his friend's car's stuck, then you text him at 5 a.m. like, let me come over. And now you're fighting with him again. So you didn't just wake up and then he was mad. This is ridiculous. Dom says, yes, you do. You hold me to super high standards no one else has ever held me to before. Kenzie says, I really don't, though. Don't be like this, Dom. Dom says, like, I'm unbelievably mad. I tried so hard, even when you're being a straight bitch, that one day I offered so many times to make your food and stuff, but no, you got to just keep pushing me. Kenzie says, wow. WTF. So that's how you see it. When I told you I was upset, it was because I got no sleep and gonna take me as being a straight B word. She says, Dom, I said thank you like 300 times. That was the best week of my life. Dom says, excuses. She says, I don't know why you think I just don't notice that you're trying. I'm thankful AF. Dom says, yeah, but then you expect me to do that or more all the time. Kenzie says, do what all the time? Try? Question mark. Dom says, nah, bruh, I'm done talking. Leave me alone. She says, Dom, stop. I don't need this. Please don't do this. I'm stressed the F out being home. And now you're all mad at me for getting mad that you broke a promise. He says, yeah, and I always am. And I'm always mad. Kenzie says, I didn't spam you. I just stopped caring and went to sleep. Like, why do I never do anything right? She says, that's not true. Dom says, to be honest, I've never been okay in my whole life, and you're not making it any better right now. Kenzie says, I'm not even trying to argue. I want to come over and hang out with you, not argue. Like, I tried to fix this last night. Dom says, you kept telling me I broke a promise. Like, what the F did I do? Kenzie says, by sleeping. Dom says, I said we couldn't hang out, and you went to sleep, N-word. Kenzie says, you promised me you wouldn't ignore me. It's not even that, Dom. Wait, so she says you broke a promise because he went to sleep. She says, you promised you wouldn't ignore me. It's not even that, Dom. I said, promise you won't break it, and you promised. Dom says, okay, I'm done talking. Don't text me or I'll just block you because I don't want to hear it. She says, oh my God, stop. He says, it's just going to keep getting me mad if you do. Kenzie says, I'm done arguing. Normal convo. Literally, it's 11:06 a.m. He says, no convo. She says, Dom, you told me we can probably hang today. I really don't want to be home. You also said you wouldn't block me too. You promised it wouldn't be bad again. And as soon as I leave, you hate me again. That's a huge reason why I didn't want to leave, because I didn't want me and you to go bad. She says, babe. She says, Dom, text me, please. Sends 5 exclamation marks. Sad face, sad face. Babe, Dom, text me. OMG. Dom says at 11:28 a.m., you're making me mad. That's what's going bad. Kenzie says, I didn't do anything but get upset. And now you're ignoring me again. I wanted to hang out today. Like now I'm flipping out because I have to sit here alone all day. Dom, answer. He said, it's not my problem. I'm not doing this shit. She says, Dom, please let me come hang out. There's no shit. I want to effing come over so I can get the F out of this house. You think I want to be trapped here all day with these people? Kenzie says, you think I want to be trapped here all day with these people? Well, those people are the ones paying for your effing honey buns and your stupid ass prison jail calls that we listen to all the time. I can't do it. I didn't do anything but get upset. Her life summed up. I know. Why only you matter, Kenzie? I know. It's ridiculous. She says, I don't want to be trapped here all day with these people. Like, I thought you were going to let me come. Like, you can go anywhere. I can just stay at your house. Okay, like if it was like someone you're in a serious relationship with, okay, then fine, you can wait there if I go to Target or something. But like, bitch, don't wait there if I don't want you there. Like, excuse me? That's just crazy. She says, please answer me, Dom. Dom, we're supposed to be in this together. Dom says, taking a shit, bruh. Because he says, sorry, LOL, of course you are. Can you please read what I said? Please, babe, let me come over now or at 12 or ASAP. Dom says, no, you made me mad, Kenzie. She says, babe, please, I can't be here all day. I hate it here. You know, I didn't mean to make you mad. You also know that I was upset because you broke a promise. Please help me, babe. He says, okay, now I'm super salty. Don't text me or you're blocked. And that was at 11:45 a.m. 12:32. She says, hey, what up now? I forgot to tell you, my dad somehow fixed my bong. Also, I have really bad anxiety right now. She loves her own message where it says, hey, what's up now? She says, text me, babe. Exclamation, exclamation, sad face. Dom says, I said not to text me. She says, how are you still mad? Like, you doing this shit stresses me out a lot. Dom says, because you made me mad. Don't text me. She says, I haven't been able to do shit. Why are you so mean to me? Dom dislikes her message and he says, blocked at 1:02 p.m. And she says, no. And he says, OMG. You always be trying to blame everything on me. If I don't stop, if you don't stop, I'm a for real start freaking out like that one day. Kenzie says, I'm not blaming you. He says, and I'm not doing that again. Kenzie says, neither am I. When you're not mad anymore, can you text me? Dom says, you say I'm stressing you out and shit and that I broke a promise. Like, I heard it already. Yeah, I will. Leave me alone until then. Because I was cooling off, but I'm about to freak out again. She says, I will leave you alone. He says, okay. She says, like, I'm stressing out about this, so please don't forget to text me when you're chilling. He says, I'm about to go back to bed. I'm chilling now. I'll hit you up later, probably. He says at 3:25 p.m. She says, okay, talk to you later, babe. Dom says, I got some dabs. I'll show you later too. She says, oh, bet. She says, Wes broke up with Kendra and they're beefing so hard. I'm dead AF. Dom says, LOL, he hit me up to chill. Kenzie says, but if you chill with him, make sure I'm there. I want to know more about it. Dom says, LOL, or sorry, I'd probably just not chill with him and then chill with you. Kenzie says, okay, bet. She says, can we link soon? They literally give each other no space. She says, can we link soon at 6:21 p.m. or now? I just got done doing shit and now I'm bored. Dom says, probably not. She says, what are you doing? And why not? It's been like 2 hours. It's way later. Dom says, chilling with Angelo. What do you mean? She says, oh, okay. Dom says, 2 hours is like no time. Kenzie said, depends. She says, I'm peeing right now. Can we chill at 7, please? And it's 6:25 p.m. First of all, why are you? He doesn't care what you're doing. Like, doesn't care. Trophy wife. Remember when she said that? She's a trophy wife. No, you're not. She says, can we chill at 7, please? She says, I have really bad anxiety today. She says that every single freaking day. She says, I have really bad anxiety today. She says, boon at 7. She removes an exclamation mark. Dom says, I'm still chilling with Angelo. She says, 7:30 then. She says, please, babe. He says, sorry, no. She says, you told me we can hang. You said later, and now it's later. Please, 7:30? Please do 7:30 for me. I want to leave so bad. She loves her own message. Dom says, 8-ish. She says, can you please try to come before 8 or at 8? Like exactly 8? I'm already kind of tired. I'm waiting though. She says, now? It's 8:03. Please, can I come now? She emphasized it. Dom, text me back. It's 8, Dom. She emphasizes it. Why do you always just start ignoring me when it's time to hang out? Dom says, I was playing Crash Bandicoot? That is, he says, sorry, babe. She says, I was for real about to get stressed. Dom says, oh. She says, can I get a ride now over, please? I'm like half crying right now. I thought you were just going to ignore me. Please just let me come now. You said 8. Dom says, can I please just chill with Angelo and Ashish? She says, OMG, let me come. Dom says, I said sorry, no, and then I said 8-ish. No, you can't chill with N-words. It don't go like that. She says, I'll play with you guys. You told me today. You lied again. I'm literally ready. Dom says, lied how? She says, I got ready at 8 when you said we would hang. Don't do this to me, please. Dom says, I didn't lie. I just told you I want to chill with them. She says, please don't do this to me again. Dom says, and then I said 8-ish. Kenzie says, please don't, Dom. Kenzie says, please let me come. Please, please, please. Don't be like this. I'm starting to tweak out. Dom, let me come. I'm ready. Why do you do this to me? Dom, please don't do this to me. You told me 8. Dom, you lied to me again. Let me come. You told me I could come over later. I'm so upset. Dom, let me come. Dom says, Kenzie, I did not lie to you at 8:27 p.m. She says, you told me we would chill. Let me come. Stop ignoring me. Please don't do this. Dom says, I'm making pasta. She says, I waited all day. Let me, please. Please let me. Dom, please. Dom says, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. I didn't say I'd chill with you till like 7 o'clock. Kenzie said, you said we could chill at 8. Dom says, and then I canceled at 8. She says, no, let me come. You're being so mean. You let me wait all day. Dom says, no, you're really now you're really making me question our relationship. Kenzie says, let me come. Call me, please. Please call me. Dom says, no. She says, I knew it would be bad again. I'm bawling my eyes out. Dom says, you're being very unreasonable. Kenzie says, please let me. I'll do anything. I'll eat pasta with you. Dom says, okay, I'm not dealing with this right now. When you calm down, look at the text messages. Kenzie says, Dom, listen. Dom says, and then I'll talk to you. Kenzie says, please let me come. You already said I could. I'm calm. Please don't F me over. I was waiting. Like I got ready at 8. Dom says, when you realize you're wrong and I didn't lie, and you know you're not calm, trying to text you is giving me a headache. Kenzie says, Dom, you said you were going to chill with me today. Dom says, you send too many messages. She says, stop being mean. Listen, Dom, let me come. It's going to be a dick move if you don't let me stay. I'm about to just walk over. Are you serious? D&D, really? You make me so upset. Don't tell me you're going to be there for me if you're going to do this shit to me. 2 nights in a row. Dom says, if you come over, we're done. She says, I'm crying so hard right now. Get off D&D. Dom says, calm down and look at how you're acting. She says, please don't do this to me. Look at how you're acting. Dom says, no. Kenzie says, you tell me we can hang. Dom says, I'm positive. Kenzie says, then just F me over. Dom says, that you're wrong. Kenzie says, I'm not wrong. I'm upset. Dom says, by not hanging out with you for 3 hours? Kenzie says, Dom, get off D&D. You told me we could hang. She emphasizes it. She sends a screenshot of his message. She says, Dom, let me come. I want my dabs that are at your house. She says, how about this? I could come at 9. Dom, can I just come at 9? I can't believe you're still on D&D. Let me come over at 9. It's 8:37 p.m. She says, I'll give you more time with them. Please let me come over. It gives you more time. Please do this for me. Dom said, that's if I want to chill with Wes. I mean, I didn't want to chill with you and Wes. Kenzie says, please, babe. Dom says, I'd rather just chill with you or just Wes. She says, let me come at 9. Dom says, no. She says, I'll leave you alone till 9. Dom says, you're twisting my words and calling me a liar. Kenzie said, so you're completely effing me over again? How is it twisting your words? Dom says, I should be way more mad right now. If it was earlier, I would probably cuss you out. Kenzie says, and you did lie. Dom says, F you. I didn't effing lie. She says, what the F? He says, I'm done talking to you. Get the F out. Kenzie says, Dom, when you tell me 8, then just say we can't hang. Stop, she says. Dom says, and don't come to my house. Kenzie says, stop. Whatever, we can hang out tomorrow. Tomorrow early. Like, can I come over tomorrow morning and sleep with you? I'm sorry for flipping out, but you need to stop telling me you're going to do something if you're not, because it makes me really upset. Dom says, okay. Like, you see her get him to that point there. And then also, like, why is Dom having to be the parent, like telling her how to act and shit? Like, that should be Natalie Shirilla and Steve Shirilla's job. Like, it's not Dom to teach you how to act. It's like she won't stop until he starts cussing. She, like, gets him to that point. She riles him up, gaslights him, annoys him, harasses him. And then she's like, oh, can we hang out? It's March 28th. It's 8:58 p.m. This is what narcissists do. They wear down until they give in. Yeah, it's really scary. He says, okay. And no. She says, why no? He says, because right now I'm still mad. She says, please chill with me tomorrow. I need to leave my house. I hit up like 20 people and no one can hang. Don't leave me on red. She says, I might stay up late. So if you end up wanting to hang out, text me. And it's now 9:26 p.m. She says, babe. He says, okay. She says, okay, sad face. 9:47. Do you think you want to chill? Dom says, probably not. Well, when? She says, I don't know. I'm probably going to go hang with Gabri because she asked me and no one asked me to chill. Well, we see why now, Kenzie. Why no one wants to chill with you. She says, how about tomorrow? Dom, I got a question, babe. Text me back. And that was at 11 o'clock p.m. Next morning at 10:58 a.m. Let's hang when you're up. You up? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Dom? Dom, text me back. It's about to be 4 o'clock. Okay, babe, when you're up, text me. I want to come over. Dom says, I'm going to chill with Blair and Kyle. She says, OMG. Dom, we were supposed to hang. I haven't seen you in 3 effing days. I'm for real about to flip out. I thought you were sleeping, but I guess not. Kenzie says, oh my God, with 10 exclamation marks. Effing answer. What the F? She dislikes his message. I'm for real so upset. What the F? And then she put a bunch of FFDC. She's like screaming through the phone. She says, never tell me you're going to be there for me. I've been needing to leave the house and you know you're like the only place I can go and then you do this. Dom says, no, we weren't. Kenzie says, and I honestly don't know why the F you're ignoring me. You're making me really upset. Dom says, we'll hang a little later. Kristen is grounded, so I'm chilling with Kyle. Kenzie says, can I just go to your house and you can just leave, please? Why did you leave me on red? Dom, just let me come over. And you can go do whatever. Just let me. Answer, please. Dom, answer. Dom, why aren't you answering? She sends 20 exclamation marks. Removes one of them. Dom, just let me come to your house. Like, you can leave. I don't care, for real. I can't be here longer. I'm gonna freak out. Dom says, okay, I'll let you come in a little. She says, oh my God, thank you so much. She says, can I just walk over now so I can see you before you leave? Please? Dom, answer. What the F? Dom says, what? He says, oh, that was from before. She says, LMAO. What are you doing? He says, chilling with Kyle. She says, I'm hungry. I'm gonna try to find some food soon. I might DoorDash or something. Dom says, something, LOL. Yeah, bro. Let me is the one I wanna was your time for me. I don't get that. Kenzie sends an emoji. She says, LMAO, can I smoke this? I don't know what that was. It was some typos. He said, smoke what? She sends a picture of a blunt, half of a blunt or a roach. He says, yes. She says, also, there's a surprise. She said, okay, bet. She says, come hang out soon. She goes to his house and he leaves. I don't think, yeah, I think she hates being around her parents and being in her house, but I think it's more of a control thing. Like, I think it's more of a control thing where she's like, wants to be there. So if Dom can come home, she's there. Like at the end of the day, he has to go back there. How can he even sleep? I don't know. I really don't. Um, it's ridiculous. She says, come hang out soon at 7:39 p.m. She says, Dom. He says, I don't know. I want to hang with Kyle. I'll be there later. She says 8:30. He says, that's early, babe. She says 9, please. He says, still early, babe. She says, Dom, OMG. No, it's not. I'm going to be effing tired. Just come back at 9. Like you've been with him all day. Dom says, no, only since before you got there. Babe, I'm going to come back to grab Bud, but I'm going to leave again, okay? He says at 8:25. She sends an emoji. She says, I'm chilling with Angela right now because I'm bored as shit. Dom says, okay. She says, Jim puked everywhere. When are you coming back? She questions it. Dom. He says, where? In my room? And I'm about to come back real quick, then go chill with Kyle again. She says, LMAO, no, hallway. Dom says, oh, okay, good. She says, tell me when you're back. He says, okay. He says, I'll come give you a hug real quick. She says, I'll come in your room while you're here. He says, okay. She says, how far? She questions it. Dom, are you here? Come back at 10, please. She says at 9:11. She says, Dom, she emphasized her own message. Text back. Okay, or don't. Can you come back soon, please? Dom says, it'll be a little later than that. Oh, it's already 10. Kenzie says, and can you also not ignore me? She says 10:30. Dom, try for me. Like I've been trying to chill for 3 days. Like you've been with him all day. 10:30. She dislikes that, his message, and then emphasizes her own. He says, okay, I'll try to come soon. We're having fun though. Kenzie says, I'm not having fun at all. And don't say you're going to try, actually try, because I don't want to get my hopes up that you're going to try if you're just not. 10:30, please. He says, I can't. She says, why? So you're going to come at effing 11 when I'm only there for 1 more hour? Dom says, I don't know when I'm going to come. Kenzie says, that for real makes me upset. This is why I hate your friends sometimes. Come effing back. You said soon. 10:30 is soon. I'm for real about to be upset AF. You've been there since 5. It's effing 10. Could you just come get me so we can all hang together? Well, I'm already effing tired. Thanks so much, she says at 10:14. Quote unquote, we can chill later. Yeah, right. She emphasizes her own message. Copies his message where it says, "Look, we can hang a little later. Kristen is grounded, so I'm chilling with Kyle." She says, "Really? So you can text Ryan back, but not me?" Dom says, "What do you mean?" She says, "N-word. Ryan just came and got the Patron, and I asked if you said he could get it, and he said, yeah. I swear to God, if you keep ignoring me, I'm going to freak out." She says, "Come back, OMG." And put like a bunch of G's, like 25 of them. She emphasizes her own message and she says, you said later, it's been 3 hours." Dom says, "Oh, sorry, he called me." Kenzie says, "I called you too, WTF." Dom says, "I'll come back later." She says, "No, you said soon. You told me soon. Come back. I'm for real mad AF." She emphasizes her own message, dislikes his, copies and pastes the same message again about hanging out after Kyle because Kristen's grounded. And then she says, "You said that at 4. It's been 6 effing hours." Dom says, "Come on, bro." Kenzie says, "No. How about you stop telling me shit and making me believe it when you know you're not going to do it? Because that's been happening a lot recently. And stop ignoring me. WTF. Come back at 11. Dom says, "I'm doing shit." No. Kenzie says, "Are you joking? Are you effing serious? I cleaned your room. I've been waiting for 7 hours. I can't stay over super late. You know that. You literally know that I can't. Stop telling me you're going to hang with me and then F me over. I'll be home soon. I'll come chill with you later." Dom says, "Sorry." She says, "Stop ignoring me. Don't say sorry. We both know you're not." It's 10:48 p.m. now. She says, "See, like what the F is wrong with you? You're just totally fine with effing me over. You think sorry helps at all? You can't even take the time to type sorry. Like hell nah." She says, I'm done now. You on D&D. Thanks for being an effing dick to me for the 3rd day in a row." He says, "I'm really not, but okay." She says, "All you say is that. Like you're dry AF. You've been saying we're going to do something, then completely effing me over. Thanks for ditching me again, Dom. You're so sweet. Never tell me you're going to try when you're just going to sit there with FAGS. F your shitty ass friends. Get the F on D&D. When are you going to stop telling me shit, then just not do it? I told you I wanted to drive and see the lights with you, but you can't even try to do that with me. I really wanted to see the lights with you, but I guess you didn't care enough. If you care, you will come." She says, "Wow," at 11:09 when he doesn't respond. She says, "Mean AF." "Wow," she says at 12:17. He says, "What?" She says, "I knew you didn't care. I don't know how you do this to me. Like you do it way too much. Then you just hurt me, then ignore me for hours." She says, "Come back. I'll hang with you a little later, quote unquote. I'm never mean to you, no matter what. And all I get from you is being a dick, and I don't get it. Come back soon. You said you would 2 hours ago." She says, "Shake my head. I know you don't want to be called a liar, but you low key lied again today." She says, "What the F? I don't know why the F you do this shit. It's such BS." It's now 1 in the morning. He says, "Because you start saying shit like that, and I don't care. And shit, I'm just having fun with Kyle." She says, "Dom, you told me we could hang. You completely effed me over, like you did yesterday. It's so effing mean. I have such a bad headache from this. You told me we could, and you lied again, and it's really getting to me. Like you're ignoring me too, and promised not to ignore me." She says, "Come back. Why are you still on D&D? You're literally such a dick to me. This is effed up. So effed up. Get off D&D. Stop ignoring me." Dom says, "Sorry." She says, "You're not sorry." He said, "No, I'm just chilling." She says, "At all." He says, "Okay." She says, "No. Stop. Dom, come back. Why are you doing this to me? It's so mean. Stop. Stop right now. Stop. Stop. You are mean. I can't take it." Dom says, "Now you're tweaking." She says, "I'm not tweaking. You're being mean. You lied to me again. I just wanted to chill with you, but you have to ditch me. Like, you don't have to do this shit to me. I don't deserve it. I'm just going to come to Kyle's or something. Like, did you forget I'm sitting at your house? Like, I feel like you just try to make me cry every day." First of all, Kenzie, he didn't ask you to sit at his house. You do that yourself. Hey, Ash, like, show her the lights, the damn lights. Kenzie, learn to cook, make yourself useful. Dude, always his fault. I know, Evie, always his fault. I bet they can't even laugh at this point. Dom probably want to forget she exists. Dude. She says, like, you forget I'm sitting in your house because you wanted to be there, Kenzie. He didn't tell you that. He's never asked you that, not once. She says, like, I feel like you just make me cry every day. You get my hopes up, then you just F me over, hard AF. If you care about me, you will come back. Dom says, I'm probably not coming back soon. She says, so you don't care. I don't deserve to be treated like this. I never deserve this. It's literally torture. Dom says, you're so unreasonable, though. This is what I gotta do usually to do my own thing. Kenzie says, you don't have to make me cry or ignore me. You told me we could hang out. Then you ditched me. I'm not unreasonable at all. All I want you to do is come hang out with me like you said you were going to. Like it's 1 a.m. You said you hang out with me soon, way earlier. Dom says, it's just hard. You wouldn't understand. Kenzie says, how is it hard, Dom? Dom says, I'm sorry, though. I drank a little, I don't know what he means by that. A little twee. I drank a little, I don't know. She says, you're not sorry. Stop saying sorry. He says, okay. She says, like, come back. I'm so upset right now. Like, I hate being treated like this so much. And of course, you drink. Kyle can't go 1 hour without drinking. Please come back. Like, I feel like I'm going to be sick. You do this to me way too much, Dom. Dom says, no, not really. She says, yes, you do. Come back. If you care about me, you will come back. Like you said, we can hang today. He says, I can't right now. I'm pretty drunk. She says, Dom, why? She says, OMG, why do you have to effing drink? Why? I effing hate Kyle. Can I just come to you then? It's literally 1:27 a.m. in the morning. She says, please, I miss you so much. Dom says, you hate everyone. Kenzie says, answer. You're literally so mean to me when you drink. Can I just come to you? Please? Dom, please, let me come to you. I can't do this. I hate my life so bad. What the F? Why does everyone treat me so bad? Let me come to you. I'll sit in your car. Please, just let me come to you. Please, 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 please. Dom, please. He says, I don't know. She says, please. Dom says, how would you even get here? She says, Angelo. Dom says, I don't know. She says, if you're okay, he will drive me. Please? Please? Dom says, I don't know. She says, please? Please, Dom, please. Please let me come. I hate my life so much. Oh my God, everyone is so mean to me. Dom, please. I'm about to puke. He says, you need a counter approach then. She says, what? Are you letting me come? Please let me. Please let me, Dom. Dom, please. Dom, please let me come. Please, 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 please. Why do you have to ignore me? Please let me come, Dom. Please, 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 please. Please. Dom? Please. Dom, please. I just puked so much. I feel really sick. Dom, please answer. Dom? Dom, answer. Please. I don't like when you drink. Why can't you do anything for me? I hate how you always have to be so mean to me. Dom, please help me. Why are you doing this to me? Let me come to you, please. Dom. Dom, answer. Dom, answer. Please let me come, please. Dom, you're really going to have to fix this. Dom says, I don't know. She says, yes or no. When are you coming back? Dom says, I don't know. She says, come back. We could have a fun ass sleepover, but no. Wait, she says, come back. Okay, so he says, I don't know at 2:19 a.m. And she says, come back at 10:06 a.m. She makes herself so sick from making all of this shit up and stressing herself out because she's a controlling narcissist psychopath. Chase, 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 chase. Natalie should be in prison with her daughter. Now she's sick again. Yes, green-eyed. She uses this as such an excuse. Like she literally does it to herself. She really needed mental help here. Believe she still does. I don't care. She ain't gonna fool me in that new Instagram post. Okay. I don't buy it, Kenzie. The statement says enough. How desperate can she be? I don't know, man. So now it's 10:06 and she's still saying, come back. We could have had a fun ass sleepover, but no. Dom, I really want to say F you and leave, but I'd 100% rather be here than go home. She's still at his house and it's the next morning at 11:08. Like, imagine having to be Dom here. Like, how does he even think with all this like harassment and stalking? He literally doesn't go home to his house because she's there. She says, and you're still ignoring me. Like, what the F? She says, Dom, I need help. Why won't you help me? I'm done with you treating me like this. It better never happen again. Dom, get off D&D and come help me. You broke promise like 30 times. I'm about to tell your mom what you're doing to me. This is not how you treat your girl that cleans your room when you don't even ask and does everything for you. When am I going to get that in return? Dom, come back, OMG. She says, I got a tampon. Shake my head, Dom. Dom says, I told her to give you one. Kenzie says, Dom, literally come home. He says, I can't. She says, why? Then I'll just come to you. Where are you? You should have been here last night when you told me you would be home soon. Dom, I'm coming to you. Are you at Kyle's still? Stop effing ignoring me. I'm so done with you treating me shitty. 12:19, she says, you're not even at Kyle's. Stop lying. It's not cute. She emphasized her message. Now she's screaming in caps. Dom, answer me right now. She says, bruh, F you. What the F? Text me back right now, or I will Uber to Carl's house. Dom says, N-word, what? She says, where are you? I know you're not at Kyle's. You lied to me for no reason at all. Dom says, I was there all night. Kenzie says, I don't believe you. Where are you? Dom, get off D&D. Dom says, I'm about to go grab some food. She says, bring me. I'm hungry AF. I haven't eaten so long. Bring me. Dom, he says, I don't know what I'm getting or if I'm even going. She says, I don't care. Come get me. I'll help you pick. Where the F are you? Why are you not telling me? This is when I start thinking you're with someone. Dom, come get me right now. I'm done being alone here. He says, I'm at Kyle's. And no, you've been acting crazy. She says, you lied to me. I'm about to just come to Kyle's if you're going to call me crazy. You're an effing a-hole. Dom says, acting, key word. Kenzie says, this isn't nice at all. You're being so mean to me. I don't deserve this. You just told me you care about me. This makes me feel like you don't. Dom says, no, you're being super unreasonable. And then I don't come home. You just take advantage of me. Kenzie says, I'm not being unreasonable. How? If anything, you do it to me. Dom says, what? Who always buys you food, makes you food, lets you come over? I'm always taking care of you. Kenzie says, I try to pay every time. LMAO. Dom says, you ask me for help with everything, but okay then. Kenzie says, you can't use that. You never let me pay. I'll pay every time. I don't care. Please just come back or let me come to Kyle's. He says, okay, and you clean my room and you're trying to use that against me, but I can just clean it. Stop keeping score. Kenzie says, I clean it better than you. I don't keep score. Please just come back or let me pull up to Kyle's. Dom says, yes, you do. No. She says, I really don't. Why are you doing this? It hurts me so much. Can I just come to Kyle's and be in your car? I don't even have to come in. Dom, please don't be like this. You're making it worse than it should be. You're the one who told me we could hang last night and you never came. He says, and you start tweaking, so I don't come. She says, I started tweaking because you're ignoring me or because you keep saying soon and then you never come. It's really effed up because I stayed up till 3 a.m. waiting for you to come back and you never did. I'm really hurt. Dom said, it wasn't that late, but okay. She says, what do you mean? Yeah, it was. I would know how late I was up, LMAO. Please just come back or we can get food and I'll pay. You've been with him for a day pretty much. Now come hang with me, please. Like, I'm calm now. I'm just starving. He says, I don't know. We've been fighting all morning. I'm not in the mood. She says, we haven't been fighting. Dom says, I will order you food. She says, do not do that. Dom says, if you think we haven't, then you trippin'. She says, I was just going to eat here. It's a small fight. So you're starving and you want to get food, go there, pick me up, blah, blah, blah. But then you're like, oh, I can just eat here. It's not even her effing house. And then she's like, it's a small fight when she's literally been arguing with him for the last 16 hours. Like, hey, Irony, it's a joke. Yeah, I know. I wish Dom would have just stayed this way, how he treats her. Love it. I know. Oh, I feel so bad. Yeah, please hit the like button, guys. I would really appreciate that. Please, please, please. How old is Mackenzie at this time? She's like 15, 16, right? It's one-sided. What is with Stalker sitting in the car? Dude, imagine being there at his house alone, all of this, and then you're still asking to go sit in the car while he's at his friend's. That is not just stage 5 clinger. That's a literal psychopath. And she thinks about hurting him too. So it's like, you know, at least verbally. She says, it's a small fight. Like, Dom, I'm chill now. Just come back. Please hang with me. I miss you. I really wanted to see those lights too. What freaking lights is she talking about? It's not Christmas. It's March 30th. What? The Christmas lights? For 3 days, dude. She says, I really wanted to see those lights last night too. He said, what lights? That's funny because I just said the same thing. He says, oh, I thought we missed it anyway. She says, no, we didn't. It went all night, but now it's over. He says, no, I seen people putting them back at like 9. She says, no, you didn't. So you got to see them, but I didn't. How did you see the lights? He says, I looked out the window. She says, I'm so upset. He says, why? She says, did you go with Kyle? He says, no. She says, like, where did you see them? He says, I looked out his window. Question mark? She says, I wanted to see them so bad. I didn't see any, not even out your window. He says, I didn't really see any either. I just seen someone putting theirs back. Kenzie says, I wish I seen the lights. That makes me really upset. Can you come back at 1, please? And it's literally 12:50. She says, maybe we can go to Baskin Robbins today. Oh, yeah. This is when Baskin Robbins joins the chat. Melly, she wants to hurt his friends. I know. Green-eyed. Straight psycho. She says, we can go to Baskin Robbins today, maybe. He says, I would literally have to leave right now to get there by 1. She says, I'm saying leave at 1 or like 1:10 or 1:20. Dom says, I barely even got any sleep. She says, we can just chill then. You can take a nap here. I'll nap too because I got no sleep either. Yeah, because you were busy texting him all night fighting. She says, and I still never told you about my dream. I can't stand the vicious cycle. It's a vicious cycle. And what does she even, again, every time she brings the freaking dreams up, she uses that. Like, Anton, that's funny. She says, and I still never told you about my dream. She says, please just come back, Dom. He says, you can tell me later if you want. I'm not coming back right now. She says, no, can I come to Kyle's then, please? Or can you come back at 1:30? Dom, please answer. Question mark, question mark, question mark. He says, I can't. She says, why can't you? That makes no sense at all. But If you can, I can just come to Kyle's house. I'm sure he will be cool with that. No, Kenzie, I don't think they want you over there, which is one, why they didn't invite you in the first place. And two, I'm sure Dom probably tells them how you threaten his friends all the time. And they can see how much you text him and do all of these fights while he's with them. They don't like you. She says, Dom, answer. I'll just walk to Kyle's. Please say okay. Dom says, no, babe. She says, Dom, why? Why do you got to do this to me? Like, I've been waiting all night and you still can't come. I really don't deserve to be treated like this. Just let me come to Kyle's. Please, Dom, answer. I'm just going to DoorDash Chick-fil-A. Just know you're doing me really wrong. She says, I thought I heard your car and got really excited, and then there was no car. He says, no, because I'm chilling with AJ too. She says, I won't be mean to AJ. I will be chill. I'll bring the Chick-fil-A. Please let me come. This sucks so bad for me. Dom, this is not okay. This is really effed up. He says, I don't want Chick-fil-A. She says, I won't be mean to AJ. Just let me come, please. I already ate it. He says, no. She said, please just let me. Dom. He says, sorry, no. Kenzie says, you told me we can hang. He says, no. She said, that makes me just want to come. Like, if you keep being a dick, I'm just going to pull up. When did you start acting like a liar? It's been 4 days since I seen you and you treat me like this. When are you going to realize this isn't how you treat your babe? Dom says, you haven't been treating me right either. She says, how? You've been lying for no reason, effing me over, ignoring me. Like I've done nothing but be hurt over how bad you treat me. I'm about to just wait in your car. And what do you want me to do? Just sit here and let you treat me like I'm some random bitch? Dom, text me back. I'm for real getting upset. He says, what do you mean wait in my car? Where? She says, can I just sit in your car and wait? He says, and no, you be treating me bad. She says, how? If anything, it's the other way around. You ditched me 2 days in a row. I would never ditch you. But can I come? He says, yeah, because you've been calling me a liar when I'm not. She says, I'll just take a nap in your car. Oh my God, when you tell me you're going to hang with me and then you ditch me, that's lying. I won't say liar anymore if it offends you. She says, just let me get a ride over. I will just sit in your car and wait till you're ready to leave. Dom says, I'm not lying though, but whatever. She says, then what is it, Dom? What's it called when you tell me we're going to hang and then you don't come and ignore me? Answer about going to your car. He says, no, I tell you, I'm not coming. She says, no, you don't. You wait till the last second when I'm already ready. And last night you kept saying, I don't know. Dom says, because you text so much. She says, because you said you were supposed to hang and you never came back. Why can't you admit you effed me over? I'm about to come to your car soon. He says, I'm about to leave. And no, I tell you that I'm not coming back. She says, last night you didn't. It's literally 2:22 p.m. She says, oh my God, you're really not coming back? Wait, let me go back. She says, last night you didn't. Oh my God, are you really coming back? I'm for real excited now. He said, no, I'm just leaving Kyle's. Sorry, you didn't mean to get your hopes up. She says, where are you going? WTF? He said, on runs. She said, if you go to Carl's, we're going to have some serious issues. Dom says, why? She says, you know why. Because then you'll be putting him before me. I get Kyle is before me, but not Carl. I am above Carl. She is above Carl. I mean, she lets her anger get the best of her. Yeah, Divine. It's insane. She says, I am above Carl. He says, oh, okay. LOL. She says, just bring me on your runs. Please, I'm bored and lonely. He says, I'm already out the way. She says, I feel so alone. He says, go chill with someone. I don't know. She says, oh my God, Dom, what is wrong with you? Why can't you just come back and hang with me? Why can you do everything else? Come back and hang with me. It shouldn't be that hard. Like, you acting like this breaks my heart. She says, answer. Answer right now. Answer right now. Right now. You effing know I have no one else. Like, what the F? You waste my time way too much. You F me over every day. Why do you think I hate my life so much? Like, I pray all the time, hoping you will stop treating me like shit. Like, you think I want to pray sometimes? It feels like the only option and it still never works. It shouldn't be this hard to hang out with me. Like, I'm already at your house. All you have to do is effing come home. Dom says, I can't read all of that. She says, read it, N-word. If you don't come back before I have to leave, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm rolling a backwood with my weed. I'm so mad. He says, when do you have to leave? She says, I'm not telling you. You better be back soon. He says, did you roll the backwood good? She said, when are you going to be back? How are you doing runs when you never came back for any stuff? I find it hard to believe. He says, Kyle's house. She said, Kyle is broke AF. He has like 3 carts. You're probably just chilling there. Come back soon. I swear to God. Bruh, what the F? He says, what? At 4:05 p.m. Okay, whatever. She says, Dom, I've been alone at your house for a really long time. And I'm sitting, waiting for you to come hang out with me like you said you would last night. I haven't even been spamming you and you still can't come back. Like, every time I hear a car, I think it's you and I get excited. He says, let me see what I gotta do and I'll let you know if I'm trying to slide home. She says, I hate being treated like shit. You better come home soon. I'm done waiting for you to just treat me like I'm nothing. I have no tears left to cry. She has no tears left to cry. She's a child, like toddler. You're smothering him, stupid. Right, Nikki? Right? Straight smothering him. She says, I have no tears left to cry. He says, I'm not really, though. I mean, I let you stay at my house and I'm just chilling with my friends and doing runs. She says, it's the fact that you never came back when you said you would. I can't just wait forever. Just come spend time with me. He says, just go do something and we can chill when we're both free. She says, I am free. And I don't know why I have to keep telling you when you already know that I don't have any effing friends. 0 friends. Dom says, you def have some friends. She says, no, I don't. When are you coming back? I just rolled the wood. Come back right now? He says, I can't, babe. It's now 5 p.m. She says, can you get me then? And bring me, please, babe? We can go boon and smoke the rest of the wood. It will be fun. He says, I don't know. I'll let you know. She says, think about it and let me know soon. I'm bored out of my mind. He says, okay. She says, can you? Dom? He says, no, probably not. I gotta do stuff. She said, Dom, please don't do this to me. Like, please just bring me. I'm so bored. I don't want to be alone anymore. Please just bring me, Dom. He says, Kenzie, you can do something. Read the book I gave you or something. She says, Dom, please just come. I've been alone for too long. The reason I came over was to hang out with you. Like, I want to see you. I miss you. And then he sends an image of something. I can't tell what it is. He says, we can hang when I'm free. Think about what this dude said. He's spitting facts. So it was like a screenshot of something. She says, Dom, you're going to be free at like 9. I don't want to wait all day again. Please just do this for me. He said, just do something. Kenzie said, like, it will make me so happy. I'm trying to do something. Dom, please come. Please just come. Don't do this to me again. Dom said, stop being like this. She says, Dom, I miss you. You're just making me wait to see you and it's hard. If I go chill with Gabby, will you let me come back and will you be back at a reasonable time? Dom says, Gabby who? She be chilling with Kate. Kenzie says, I don't know who she with, but she asked me to hang out and I low-key don't want to be a part of that group. But I'm so bored. Dom says, I mean, chill with them if you want. She says, I really don't want to. I really want to chill with you. Can you just come get me or be here at 7? I have 2 sales anyways. Dom, answer fast, please. Like, you're already torturing me by not hanging out with me, by ignoring me. It's too much. It's now 6:12 p.m. So she has been at his house waiting for over an hour, for over a day. Sorry, not an hour, for literally over 24 hours. It's imagine being in prison with this. I cannot not imagine. Obsession song comes to mind. Yeah. She says, I thought you hanging with Dom says, I thought you're hanging with Gabri. She says, I don't want to if Natalie is there. And I told you I don't really want to. Answer fast, Dom. She said, just get me. I have cells you can do. 2 people want bud. Can you please just get me? It will be fun and it will make you more money. And maybe we can get Baskin-Robbins after. Dom, don't leave me on red, sad face. She emphasizes her on message. And there's a wood left. He says, I'm talking to someone, hold up. She says, okay, text me when you're done talking to them. And then she says, question mark, question mark, question mark. He says, okay, I will. She says, it's been like 10 minutes, LOL. He says, I'm talking a lot. She says, okay, text me when you're done. He says, okay, I got you at 6:34 p.m. Then she says, question mark, LOL. It's been a while at 6:49. So like 15 minutes. She says, how about you just come get me when you're done talking? He says, sorry, I just got done. She says, it's fine. Can you come here now? I still have 2 sales, I think. She removes a question mark. There's a wood left. Dom, answer fast. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Why are you ignoring? 10 more question marks. Really? Why did you stop answering? Dom, please just stop. Just stop ignoring me. I really don't know why you just start ignoring me out of nowhere. Like I'm really trying hard to not flip out. This is really whack. I have to leave soon, she says at 7:33 p.m. He said, sorry, I was driving. She says, can you come? Please come get me. I will bring the backwood. Dom, please. He says, I'm 20 minutes away. When do you have to leave? She says, I've been chill AF. Can you just come and get me? My head is spinning. Like, please just come. I can wait 20 minutes. Question mark, question mark. Can you? He says, I can't just leave right now. When do you have to leave? She says, where are you? Why can't you just leave right now? Can you please get off D&D? I'm trying so hard to stay chill. Like, I can't be alone anymore. Why won't you tell me where you are, though? He says, I'm driving, doing my shit still. She says, just bring me. She says, come back here when you need, then we can boon while you do runs. Please don't leave me here any longer. She says, I've been trying so hard to chill, so will you please come get me? Baskin-Robbins closes at 9, I think. She emphasizes it. Removes an exclamation, removes another exclamation, removes another exclamation. She says, Dom, answer fast, please, at 7:42 p.m. Your mom made a good-ass dinner. Dom says, can we just chill tomorrow? She says, no, we can't. We both know you're not going to come. If you come back for 1 hour, we can hang tomorrow. Dom, answer me. You promise we can chill tomorrow if I let this slide? He says, yeah, or I'll probably be back later anyway. She says, can I bring the wood to smoke with Gabri? Just her, and she can drop me off here after? I can probably stay till like 2. It's 8 p.m. now. She says, and I also seen some pics from your baby book. So cute. I'm going to come back after I smoke with Gabri, then we can chill tonight and tomorrow. She says, I'm leaving soon and leaving my bag at your house. I'll be back over later. He says, okay, what are you doing now? She says, I'm about to leave and smoke with her. She's on the way now. At 8:45, she says, I ate so much dinner, LMAO. There's a surprise if you get back before me. Also, something is missing. We're the little ladybug circle thing. LMAO. He questions her message. He says, the little thing on the llama? She says, it's not there. I'ma find it. She says, found it, LMAO. He says, LOL. She says, I hope you get back before me so you see what I did. When are you about to come back? She says at 9:19. And then she says, I'm back. Wait, she literally was gone for less than an hour. She says, I'm back. So come back. Question mark, question mark, question mark. Why you ignore me? Stop ignoring me. He says, I'm not. She says, answer fast, LOL. Can you come back soon? I got back at like 9:45. He says, can we just hang tomorrow? She says, it's my mom's birthday. We can hang tomorrow if you promise to hang out with me all day tomorrow and let me come over early. Answer so I can dip. He says, today or tomorrow? She says, tomorrow. He says, but you should be with her. Dom says, that's what Dom said. And then Kenzie says, you can come sing. I'm hanging with you tomorrow. Say you promise. He said, look, let's chill in the morning and you can do your birthday stuff later. She says, okay, bet. Get off D&D, please. She says, promise we can chill at 10:12 p.m. She says, please actually get off D&D. I'm going to text you. I'm not going to text you a lot. I just don't want to fall asleep with it on. He says, I like being on D&D though. She says, bypass me. He says, I still see your call when I look at my phone. She said, so you get my text. Emergency bypass me. So everyone on D&D but me. Dom says, but like, I hate when I'm doing something and my phone keeps ringing. She says, I won't spam you. She says, I burnt myself really bad. He says, I'll answer you. You good? She says, like, my whole thumb is red. Promise we can hang tomorrow, though? He says, how did you do that? And yeah, we can. She says, when I smoked with Gabri, she dropped the roach on a pass and it fell on my finger and burnt me so bad. Dom says, oh, that probably hurt. She says, like, weed fell everywhere and the leaf effed up my hand. She says, what are you doing? It's now 11:00 p.m. He says, I'm with Kyle again. She says, still no Kristen? What are y'all doing? He says, yeah, there hasn't been. She says, text me when you're up. The next morning at 3:31. I'm sorry, on 3:31, March 31st at 8:15 a.m. She says, Dom, babe, wow, I don't even, how long has it been? Oh, what happened? Have you guys not been able to see the text at all this whole time? I don't know why it disappeared from the screen. My bad. She's so nosy. Hey, Chanel. I didn't even know it was gone. I didn't even know it was gone. Imagine being in a room with all these texts just being read all day. Like, that's a word. No wonder they were there. That's annoying. I don't know why. Sorry, guys. Imagine him being on D&D. Well, no shit, he's on D&D. Like, with all these text messages, I would be too. She says, babe. She says, question mark, question mark. He said, what's up? She says, can I come over? Like right now? He says, yeah. And it's 11:59 a.m. She says, bet. He says, what time you're staying till? She says, I don't know. I'm going to get ready, then come. He says, okay, come. He says, my blanket smells like Ken's. She says, aw, good. Did you see what I did? LOL. He said, the ladybug thing or the note? She said, LOL, both. He said, LOL. What should I eat? French toast, sausage, or sausage McMuffin? This trips me out. Like, when he goes back to just being like, okay, thanks. When she goes back to just being like they've been fighting for like 48 hours straight. And now they're like talking about breakfast food and he like wants to hang out with her. It's one of you said it earlier. It's like a vicious cycle. He says, what should I eat? French toast, sausage, or sausage McMuffin? She says, French toast. And that was at 12:13 p.m. noon. And then she says, what are you doing, babe? At 7:55 p.m. He says, I'm at home. Trevor was sleeping. She says, can I come back over? He says, you've barely been there, babe. Why? She says, because we're done with the birthday shit. We sang and opened presents. So can I? He says, I don't know. Bartula's still trying to chill and Trevor's been asleep since 5. Kenzie says, can I just come back? And when you want to go there, I can leave. LOL. He says, it's not going to be very long. She says, it's okay. I don't really care. He says, okay. She says, why that face? I can come? Question mark. Dom says, oh, I thought you meant it's cool that you don't come. She said, and can I get my book bag? Dom says, Kenzie, we're not going to have any time to chill. She says, when are you going to chill with them? I don't really care about how much time we have. I don't know why you're being weird about it. LOL. Dom says, I'm going to go chill with them right now, or I'm going to go chill with Ashish. She says, oh, damn. At least we chillin' tomorrow. If you end up having free time, text me at 8:08 p.m. He says, my messages would like not send. She said, iMessage is being really weird. Dom says, yours is too. She said, yeah, I thought you did something. LOL. Delivered isn't showing. Dom says, yeah, it's been effed. She said, what if the government shuts down iMessage? He said, what if they're trying to F with our phone service so we have to use Wi-Fi so then we all stay home? She says, WTF? Remember, it's a pandemic. She says, I think they already effed with our Wi-Fi and shit. He says, LOL. Mine's being better now. She says, literally same. Weird AF. He says, when can you chill till? 12? She says, 2 a.m. probably. That's wild. My parents would not let me chill at 2 a.m. when I was like 15 or 16. Like maybe in a blue moon, and depends who I was with. But like absolutely not. And if I did, that means I snuck out or something. I don't know. She says 2 a.m. probably. He says, okay, maybe I won't chill with Angelo and 𝗍𝗓 that long and you can come chill. Actually, nah, Topher's like doing his weird shit. I'm gonna go to 𝗍𝗓's. She says, LMAO, sorry, babe. If you want to hang with me, just hit me up. He says, okay. He says, what are you doing now? She says, just chilling. What about you, babe? He says, not much. I was chilling with Angelo waiting for 𝗍𝗓. She says, what are y'all doing? That backwood earlier low-key got my throat feeling weird. He says, I was okay, but yeah, the ash wasn't totally white. She said, yeah, I'm trying to drink hella water so my throat feels better. LOL. What are you guys about to do later? It's 9:49 p.m. He says, gargle salt water. I don't know. Angelo left real quick. She says, oh my God, I hate salt water. LMAO. Dom says, don't put a lot in it. She says, I for real gag. Dom says, throw some mouthwash in with the salt. She says, LMAO, so salt, mouthwash, and water? He says, little bit of salt, splash of mouthwash, then warm water. He says, yes. She says, LMAO, I'll try. He says, I mean, why not? It won't be salty. It'd be minty. Just don't swallow none of that shit. She says, I'm getting everything together right now. He says, getting what? She said, salt, mouthwash, and water. She said, I'm so dumb. I'm peeing right now and totally forgot I'm just wearing a panty liner, bruh. What? What the hell does she mean by that? Like as underwear? New GF, she gave lots of info. It was good. Everyone find it. I should watch it here with me. I don't know what that means. Ellie, did they send you any recent phone calls? Not recent ones. I still have a bunch of the other ones that I haven't finished. She says, I don't know what she means by the panty liner. He says, I don't know what that is. He says, how did the mouthwash work? She said, still hurts, but it's better. I low-key effed up my cute ass underwear. He says, that's tough. He said, wash them. She said, LMAO, they're still gonna stain. What the? She's so gross, says Nancy. Call the exorcist, says Rebecca. She's worried about her stained underwear. Why does she tell her boyfriend about? I don't know, Liz. I don't know. It's too much for me. She says, LMAO, they still gonna stain. What are you guys doing now? She says at 10:18 p.m. He says, I'm gonna be by myself now. We can chill for a little if you want. She says, like, chill now? He says, sure. She says, bet, I'm coming now. And that was at freaking 10:26 p.m. on the 31st. Yeah, it's wild. Let's get into April 1st and then we'll end the live because we do have Jeffrey Epstein live planned. So April 1st, 2:13 a.m. She says, good night, babe. He says, good night. And then at 8:31, she says, hit me up when you're up. Why you leave me on red, babe? LOL, question mark. I hope you're just in the shower or something. He says, I just got up. She says, oh, I was confused AF because it said you left me on red. He says, I don't know. I probably opened my phone or something while I was asleep. He says, I woke up for like a couple minutes, then went back to bed. She says, LMAO, it's okay. Want to hang in like 30? So you have time to wake up and shit? He said, I need more time than that. LOL. She said, 1. Dom says, let me do some of my productive shit because I have it in a couple days. Then I'll hit your line. She says, okay, bet. She says at noon, we're going to Baskin Robbins today though. LMAO. He says, okay. At 2:06, she says, what are you doing? He says, running somewhere with Smeesh. She says, that's fun. I'm watching Shameless and cleaning. LOL. Dom says, that sounds pretty chill. She says, low-key bored. When you think you're gonna be done? I want to go to Baskin Robbins before it's closed. He says, when does it close? I'm chilling with Angelo and Ashish just left. She says, can we hang in 30 minutes? I'll look right now. The website says hours are unknown because of Corona. Dom says, do you think it's closed? You want to just make a cake and ice cream? She said, LOL, sure. For Ashish's birthday. Kenzie said, is it really his birthday or another fake one? Dom says, yeah, it is. She says, oh shit, really? Dom says, he has to leave for 2 to 3 hours and he's going to come back, I think, so we got time to make it. She says, oh, okay. So can I come over now or soon? Babe? And that's 4:00 now. She says, question mark, question mark? He says, yeah, come over. She says, KK, I'm on my way. She says, I'm mad AF. Shake my effing head. He says, why? She says, N-word, why? Because you invite me to hang over and say we're going to make a cake instead of Baskin Robbins. Then you just play basketball. Like, it's cold. You think I want to be out there when I can't feel my effing hands? Okay, so you're bitching and complaining he never invites you. Then he invites you and now you're complaining. Like, I don't get it. I know. I'm screaming too. What does she tell her boyfriend about her? Oh yeah, I already read that one. She says like it's cold. I can't feel my effing hands. She says, and I asked you like 20 times to do something. He says, what you want to do? My mom just made the cake. My bad. She says, we can literally do anything you want, just not be outside. Like, I'm getting salty AF. Dom says, why would you just want to be inside when you can be outside? She said, I said it's cold like 300 times. If I'm shaking when I go outside, it's not nice out. Like, what the F? Come into the house. I'm bored for reals. Wait. She says, like, what the F? Come into the house at 6:00 p.m. And then she says at 11:18, I'm bored for real. Dom says, what time you got to be home? She literally just stays in his house. Like, stays. She says, what time you got to be home? She says, why? He says, because we could just leave sooner and go to my house. And then I go back to Kyle's when you leave. She says, oh, 2? Are you going to drink? He says, when? She says, I don't want to be around AJ, low key. Why are you drinking? I don't want to hit the wood now because AJ hit it. He says, LOL. She says, contaminated. Can we leave? She says at 11:34 p.m. So he let her come. He said, it's just a sip of 𝗲𝗏. What is 𝗲𝗏? He said it earlier. Is that the lean? TWEA. It's just a sip of 𝗲𝗏. That's the second time he says that. She says, and bring the wood. It's 11:34 p.m. He said, not right now. She said, why? Dom says, can we stay till 12 and then I'll drop you off? She says, drop me off where? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Dom says, your house. I want to go chill with Angelo and Smeesh. She says, I can't be there. He says, and all of them there, and all of them there. She says, and we didn't even get to chill alone at all today. She says, yeah, that's true. Dom says, I'm sorry, I didn't know that was a big deal. She says, I mean, I'd like some time with you just to chill with you and have fun, just me and you. It's whatever. He says, I'm sorry, next time we chill, I'll make sure we're alone for a little. She says, tomorrow after my nail appointment, then go to Baskin Robbins. That's at 11:44 a.m. And I'm going to end it there. We're going to end it on April 2nd. April 2nd, and we'll continue tomorrow with the text messages. He's trying to include her and she ruins it. She brings nothing to the table. I know. I'm so annoyed with her. She's like, you never bring me. Oh, sorry. She's like, you never bring me the cliffhanger. I know. Twee is slang for tweaking. But he said I was drinking it. Twee is tea with alcohol. Like a twisted tea. Oh, maybe that's what he meant. Complaining is like a rocking chair, gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anything, McKiller. Exactly, Nancy. They're talking about people. Who is? Hey, Tyler. Where's his family when she's living in their living room? That's what I was going to say. She's obviously there. And they see her coming and leaving, and he's just leaving. I'm wondering, like, did Miss Russo think that was weird AF? Like, she's just here by herself in my son's room. Tweaking on tea. I don't know. I don't know what that is. I don't remember that part, but anyways, tap the like button on the way out, guys. We will continue the Mackenzie Shirilla text messages reading tomorrow. I do plan to do them again tomorrow. So we'll continue into April. I know we didn't get very far in April because the last fight took a long time on the 30th. So we'll continue in April text messages reading tomorrow. I will post the live and schedule it. Please, did they have that then? Twisted Teas, I think, if that's what they're referring to. I don't know. Maybe it's lean with something else. Melly, I love your cliffhangers. I know. They're so good. Just means you got to come right back. Turn on your notifications and please hit the like button. Yeah, Abuelita's been telling you guys, hit the like button the whole time. So I really hope you do. It really helps push out the stream. If you are interested in Jeffrey Epstein, we are covering those files here shortly. I'm going to reschedule because I think I'm late now because I was here, but I'll reschedule for just a little bit. We'll do Epstein and then hopefully another one if we are up for it. So shout out to all of you guys for being here. I love and appreciate you. Please hit the like button on the way out and make sure your notifications are on, and I will see you on the next live shortly.